lovely afternoon to you. Welcome to Game Plan on 99.7 Joy FM on Hitz 103.9 FM. My name is Fentuo, Tahiru Fentuo, your host from now till 3 p.m. Talking the best subjects from the world of sports. And this week, there's been quite a number of them. Yesterday, they did a float. The fans came together to create awareness for their Sunday game, and we are here to help them promote that match. It's at 3 p.m. against Wydad AC. What a game. The second preliminary round game in the CAF Confederation Cup. It should be a very interesting game. Kotoko have been forced to play that game in Accra because Kumasi is not being approved to host the match. So all the Kotoko fans in the city, non-Kotoko fans in the city, it's Sunday, it's 3 p.m. Accra Sports Stadium. Let's go and support Kumasi Asante Kotoko. That's the first leg. So they need a win, not just a common win. They need a convincing, thumping victory to put them in a good position for the second leg. So there's that. And then what's dominated the airways on social media everywhere is a conversation around players who didn't participate in the qualifiers, more specifically players born abroad who perhaps in the past rejected Ghana, now saying they're available and ready to represent the country at the FIFA World Cup. Should we invite them if they are fit and informed and can improve the squad? Those are the questions we'll be asking. And we'll answer them, put some precedents in place, and see how that influences the dynamics of the team, the chemistry and the harmony of the team. So that's a conversation we'll have on the show, and I'm sure you have very strong opinions about that. We'll also provide some education on the CAF rules that ensure that Nigeria qualify for the playoffs of the FIFA World Cup, even though they got only some 17 points in their group, and a country like Burkina Faso would not qualify despite, for example, getting 21 points. So how does that work? How is that possible? So we will get into that conversation as well and see whether the system used by CAF is fair and whether there are other systems that could have been used that could have prevented the uproar. And I say uproar because Burkina Faso have been crying a lot. In fact, they are very upset that CAF resulted to the rules that they applied, which ended up denying them a place in the playoffs, even though they accumulated more points than Nigeria. So there is a conversation to be had there as well. And then club football returns this week. We'll talk some Ghana Premier League as well as some EPL. Manchester United at Liverpool is the headliner. It's a London derby between Fulham and Arsenal. So it's a packed show for the next hour and a half here on the show. Proudly sponsored by Betway and Petrosol. Those are our two sponsors on the show. And of course, your views are welcome. This show is live and interactive on social media. We are streaming on the YouTube channel of Joy FM. Also on X Spaces on the Joy 99.7 FM handle, as well as on Facebook. So that's that. All of that to come here on the show. It's a packed show. If you want to join the conversation, there is a phone number for you to use to do that. You can send us a message on WhatsApp. And because of the nature of today's conversations, I will open the phone lines towards the end so that you can express your views as well. Very, very important. But even before that, you can let us know what you think through WhatsApp by sending us a message to the number 055 1111997. 055 1111997. That's our WhatsApp line. My guests are in studio, some joining us on Zoom as well. So we will try and get into everyone that is joining the show. Danny K is here. Danny K, how you doing, my friend?
Yeah, man.
Oh, good.
What's up? Yeah, I'm feeling really good.
You seem too well dressed for a Friday afternoon sports show. I don't understand it. What's going on, my friend? This yellow kaftan that you've shown up here with.
It's not yellow.
It's gold, though. It's gold.
It's gold. It's not yellow. Know your colors. Know your colors.
Eh?
This is gold. It's not yellow.
Really?
But this bugger,
Uh,
is this yellow?
it's not.
You're wearing glasses.
Mm.
And you still can't see
It's
good.
not about
It's gold
glasses.
a
He
color.
doesn't know colors.
It's gold a color.
You don't know your colors. That's the
It's
issue.
gold a color.
So it's what?
It's a mineral.
This guy,
It's a mineral resource. That's what I know gold to be. Gold is a mineral resource. Victor Atsu Tamakloe is here as well. How you doing, my friend?
Yeah, we're good. The reactions to some of the... But Karim's diabolic power.
Why?
Have you seen the Joy Sports TikTok?
What's happened there?
Oh, check the last 2 posts on the Joy Sports TikTok. See, for those who don't follow us on TikTok,
Go and follow us.
the account's name is at joysports_gh.
That's right.
At joysports_gh. Where you go, look out for the last 2 recent posts by Karim. And
This
pay
guy.
attention to the soundtracks.
That he used.
I'm just going to give you a hint.
Say what?
I'm just going to give you a hint.
I'm listening.
The last one is about Francis Amuzu. He posted the quote cards from his recent interview.
Yes.
Saying that he loves Ghana and now he wants to play for us.
Uh-huh.
And then the one before that was Richard Ofori.
Oh. Okay.
So yeah, go and follow us on TikTok.
All right, guys, follow us on TikTok. Sitsofe Philip Atsrim is down a little bit with flu, so he's joining us via Zoom. Is Sitso on there? Sitso not on there yet. Okay, cool. We will try and get to it. Sami Battle is also joining us via Zoom.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so it should be a very exciting conversation as far as that's concerned. But guys, lots of people are declaring their readiness for the Black Stars. Obviously, one of them is Richard Ofori as well. He says he's not giving up on his dream of playing at the FIFA World Cup with the Black Stars of Ghana. He now plays for Amazulu in the South African League. Amazulu. They caught up with him after Ghana. Remember that Ofori hasn't kicked the ball for the Black Stars
Since he touched the ball.
Since he touched, he stopped playing.
He's not, since he touched the ball, he's not kicked the ball for the Black Stars.
Now he says he's ready. He's ready.
We did him back.
Yes, he's ready. This is what Richard Ofori said when they asked him about going to the World Cup.
Every player's dream is to play a World Cup. I'm still playing, so I'm working hard and then focusing on my team at the moment, which is that's what you need to do for you to be there, because you can't sit at the bench, or you can't sit and then just wake up and go, you know. So I'm working hard in my team to help my team in the league, and then the rest will take over.
Okay, so that's the sorry about that. So that's Richard Ofori. Okay, so he says every player's dream is to play at the World Cup. Okay, so he's working hard at his club to ensure that when the time comes, he will be ready to represent the country. Francis Amuzu. Yeah, the name gives you
Amuzu
away.
P.
Yeah, Francis Amuzu used to play for RC Anderlecht in the Belgian league. These days, he plays in Brazil for a club called Grêmio. I think Ronaldinho played there before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for a club called Grêmio. He's a winger. Okay, that's where he plays now. Now, a couple of years ago, he granted a famous interview where he said that the Ghana FA people are disturbing his agent about playing for Ghana every day, but his heart is set on Belgium. And that was in 2022 in an interview. To be fair to him, Ghana had the potential of playing at the World Cup in 2022 when he made that interview. So he's not World Cup.
Oh, you didn't add what he said about the World Cup. That is the meat of the matter.
What did he say?
He said for a country like Belgium, there is a greater chance that they will qualify out of the group stage. But for countries like Ghana, it is more likely that we would have a short stint and would exit at the group stage.
Yes, now he's had a heart transplant because his heart has jumped from Belgium and his heart is now set on Ghana. His heart is with Ghana. I'm not the one saying it. This is him. On Sunday, he granted this interview. On Sunday, the day Ghana qualified for the World Cup, Francis Amuzi says his heart, Nakuma, Nakuma, his heart is with Ghana. This is what he said.
No, for me, I'm a Ghanaian. I'm born in Ghana, so yeah, for me, I'm happy that that they are qualified for the World Cup. It's a wonderful tournament also to play. It's one of the biggest tournaments in the world, so yeah, I'm happy that they qualified, and yes. For me, to be honest, at the moment, my heart is really at Ghana. So yeah, if Ghana comes, for sure I will go, and yeah, I hope they can call me. But now my focus is just here at Grêmio to try and perform every game, and then in the future we'll see what happens.
That is Francis Amuzu. Okay, plays for Grêmio in the Brazilian Serie A. That's the top division of the Brazilian league. This season, he's played 24 matches. He scored 2 goals. Okay, that's what he's done. Scored 2 goals. Then, this one, I don't have a voice, but I'll read quotes. Mickey Charles went to speak to Ghana SoccerNet, and he has introduced an entirely new conversation into the whole thing. Oh, Chale! Mickey Charles is the CEO of Techiman City. Yeah. Okay? So he is a critical member of the football ecosystem. Okay? Mickey Charles says, in his opinion, and I'm quoting him as per Ghana SoccerNet. So this is an online platform that reported it. So we have the quotes we are reading. Mickey Charles says, and I'm quoting Mickey Charles. Mickey Charles, don't text me. I'm quoting Mickey Charles. He says, it will be befitting to send Andre Ayew to the World Cup. Ghana must not make the continuous mistake of forcefully retiring players who have served the badge with honor and dignity. Andre is only 35 and still wields the energy and leadership to guide this team. He doesn't necessarily have to start games, but can play a crucial role when his leadership is needed both on and off the pitch. I, Mickey Charles, strongly recommend that Coach Otto Addo include our legend in this squad, who is still active, to at least thank him for his immense service to our dear nation. Unquote. That's Mickey Charles. So, the thank you turn, he said we should extend it to Andre Ayew. So the conversation is there.
He said thank you, to.
Oh, I said thank you, to, but he said.
Oh, then you can join us here in Ketia.
That's Will you behave?
That
will you behave?
That's a thank you, to, with a lot of momentum.
Okay.
Yes.
Joining us over Zoom is Sami Bartels, who used to be on this side of the seat for the longest time until he decided something else was worthwhile. Bartels, how are you doing, my friend?
Nice, I'm very well, thank you. How are you guys?
Oh, we are doing well. Charlie
KD, you did rock the goal there. You did rock the goal.
he did rock the goal. Listen, Sammy, yeah, I don't know. I want to. Is Sitsofe on net yet? Not yet. Okay, I want to throw this to you. On that last one, I don't want us to dwell too much. But Mickey Charles, your friend Mickey Charles, he has some very interesting opinions about who we should take to the World Cup. What you had me read the quotes. What do you make of what he said about Andre Ayew? Or is just you think he's just trying to create controversy, or do you think there's a substance and there is an actual constituency from which this might be coming and it could intensify in the coming months?
Yeah, definitely. You don't want to be Otoado at the moment. Not only is it going to intensify, you have delegations being sent, you have calls being made. I just hope that as far as this groundswell of appeals are concerned, hopefully we don't have the executive, and I mean the presidency and ministerial level, get involved in this, because we've had situations like that in the past. Look, when we qualified for the 2006 World Cup,
is something there?
At the end, that you need your most experienced players to go, and they figured we had to call them out of international retirement and take them and that if you played them even for a few minutes, you would put the fear of God in your opponents merely by having them on. Of course, the coach at the time, Ratmir Djukovic, did not listen to that. On Andre, well, traditionally, none of our previous captains has ever retired. I think circumstances have retired them. So officially, Andre is not retired yet, although I know where he's going to be playing this season, even if he's going to play inactively. One thing I would say might sound controversial is that I don't think we have treated Andre Ayew fairly at all. And this is my explanation. I think we've done the same to others in the past. We should shoot straight from the hip. It's quite obvious that Otuado is building something, and he's found an Ayew who should lead the team, and that is not Andre Ayew. And things obviously will get complicated if Andre Ayew was to get back within the structure. So why don't we say things as they are? If you have decided to move on beyond your immediate past captain, I think it's only fair to the guy to mention it, to say, don't expect any call-up. This is my position. Or that if I see this minimum from you, there's a chance that I might call you. I think usually the captains we owe them this much, but just as we have bundled the appointment process with the captains, we have not been forthright and frank as far as this is concerned. I think sometimes the factors are so obvious, somebody has to say it, and I'm hoping that in the coming months, with all this groundswell of appeals coming in, the coach is bold enough to say, these are my plans. This percentage of players, I think, barring injuries or anything, are already qualified. This is my minimum criteria for anybody else who is not in my team at the moment to get into the team. Then the matter is settled, and it reduces the speculation around this. But as long as Andre is not officially retired, we are not saying it straight up to say whether or not he can still be in the plans. Things like what Mickey Charles is saying are likely to come up.
Very interesting. And honestly, I don't want us to spend a lot of time on it, but you just have the feeling that, as Sami said, actually, that this is not going to end now. And in fact, he mentioned what happened
the Andre bit.
Yes.
It has ended in Otuado's mind.
In Otto's mind?
Yes. And
but
in Andre's mind, okay, let me put it this way. It has ended in Otuado's mind, and Andre is aware where Otuado stands as far as his Black Stars future is concerned.
Yes.
It is the fact that Otto has been diplomatic about it, and he has not spoken about it publicly. That sort of, quote and unquote, leaves room for speculation. But as far as the most important people, and what Sami is alluding to has already happened. The lobbying that we think is going to happen started the very first day that Otuado dropped him. That lobbying started. There are people in government who believe that Andre needs to be part of the team, and they have not hidden that from the Black Stars coach. They have told him. Some of them have gone public, and by some of them, I'm referring to the sports minister. His last interview on City, he mentioned that there are people who inform him, some of his advisors, that they don't understand why Andre, one of our top scorers, is not in the team. And some of those are things that the coach would have to consider. It was not the first time the minister was saying that, but it was the first time he was saying that publicly. Those are views that other people from important publics, and not just in government, there are people at the FA, there are people who are sympathizers of the player themselves, who would make a case to the coach. But he remains firm in his belief that this is the team he wants to work with. And again, for the avoidance of doubts, there was a conversation with the player before, because Andre is not just someone that you can easily discard. He has served his country well. He has a personality that under different circumstances the team would have needed. The coach recognizes that. He respects his contribution, and following from that, he had a conversation with the player. So Andre, it's not a case of Andre now sitting and waiting to see whether or not Otuado is going to invite him. I think the two of them are pretty clear. However, the thing about players like Andre is the very thing that brought them this far is what also makes it difficult for them to accept situations like that, which is they will back themselves to a hilt.
Right.
He still genuinely believes that he still has something to offer to his country. What I will say is that his position is not helped by the fact that he is not active
at the moment.
Yes, and he hasn't played football in 7 months?
Till the end of the season, last season.
So before anybody even entertains the thought of making a case for him, he needs to be active again.
Yeah.
Also, there is a certain belief that Andre is ungovernable. True or not, I don't think we should be doing anything that will throw a spanner in the works when his brother now has a firm grip of the team as the leader.
Because if Andre returns, what happens? Does the captaincy go back to him?
General captain.
Look, we can play around these things.
Yeah.
But Andre is not the sort of player I think will accept sitting on the bench.
I mean, DK, what do you make of this situation? Because I've heard a brother perspective of Mickey Charles's argument, and some of it is that Andre Ayew has the potential to make history, not just for himself but for Ghana at this World Cup. Because if he goes, he becomes the only African player to appear at 4 different World Cups. That record will stay with him, and he will stay with the country Ghana. And he also holds the record for the number of AFCON appearances, if I'm not mistaken. So he's got there is potential for him to make quite a lot of history. And Mickey Charles then says that would also be a really good way to say thank you very much for all these years of service. You don't even need to play, but just go there and make that sort of history. Is that, I mean, 26 players at the World Cup. Do we have the luxury to just say we're taking a player simply because we want him to make history, even if he doesn't contribute?
Friend, the good thing is the season is not over. Right now, I think this conversation is premature.
Right.
He's not played for 5 months. If we're naming a Black Star squad now for the World Cup, I don't think it would make sense to take somebody who has not played in 5 months. Like, let's be serious.
Yes.
He's not active. He can't help the team in the capacity that Mickey Charles is talking about. They are facts. He's one of our top goal scorers. He's one of the best players in the history of this country. But can he do that now? Having not played for 5 months, no. There still was 7 months to the end of the season. He's a free agent. He can move to any team at any time. As we saw last season, he didn't join Le Havre at the start of the season. He joined midway and then he helped them in a way. So if that happens and he's scoring goals, and then you can go to Otto. But even when he was playing, Otto said that you are not in my plans for now. Somebody who is 30, 35, you are saying for now, and then when? So you have to read in between the lines. And you see, I said that Andre was low-key retired from the national team once we named new leadership. That's the truth. Because if he just wasn't making call-ups, but was still within the
still had a potential of coming back,
we probably wouldn't have. You just would have gone with the assistant captain and then the assistant number 2. But for you to name a new chain of leaders and then use his brother as the number 1, you see, we are smart too. We are smart. We know what we are doing. Because family will not fight family.
Yeah.
Nope.
Thank you. So Jordan is captain now. If Andre comes back some way, and we all know that he's not coming. See, let's move on. There are more things to talk.
Yeah.
Andre is going around visiting national teams, wishing them the best. He's not playing. When he starts playing, then we can have...
he's not doing elder job.
He's doing.
elder
He's going
statesman.
to. He was with the Black Princesses before he
Donated
played.
money to
He
them.
went-
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's not playing. I don't think if you call him right now, if he himself will know that he's not fit to
He's been training
say-
with Nanya every day. Why you
He's
saw
not
him
playing.
with the Black
Training is different
Princesses
for Boga. Monday starts.
Nanya play.
George Weah is playing. Will you call him to go and play for this thing? He's training. Will you call him to go and play for Liberia? That guy is not active. He knows. So when he starts playing, then we can have that conversation. But
Okay.
until then,
Until then, a bit premature. Is it also premature to completely dismiss the potential of calling players like Eddie Nketiah and Hudson Odoi to the national team because we don't think that they are good enough or because they've rejected us in the past? I think that is another conversation to be had. It will be very interesting in the next few minutes, trust me. Listen, let me go to Sami Bartels again because Sami is on the move, so I really need to get his thoughts before we let him go. Sami, this hot topic about inviting players such as Eddie Nketiah or Hudson Odoi, I think there are two spectrums of the scale. There are those that completely have taken a hardline position that it's a no because this is opportunistic. My good friend and brother Atsu is one of those people. There are those that are on the other end of the scale that say, you know what, they still have 7 months or 8 months to the World Cup. A lot can change. We can't just shut the door on them simply because in the past they haven't come to play for the country, or at the moment they don't think they're good enough or whatever. Like, where do you stand in this argument? What do we do? You mentioned in your intro that you don't want to be Otoado, but the situation is unavoidable and it's here already. What happens? Where do you stand on this whole conversation?
Charlie, is hot. It's hot. It's hot. And it's not a black and white issue. I think for self-interest purposes, there's a gray side to this. But then let me ask you guys. And you know, off air, you and I were having a discussion about money and sikakakra or dokakra and things. But which of you, you know, I mean, you made career moves to other radio stations and other TV stations. Which of you, perhaps even at the point at which you were signing your contracts, did not pledge undying loyalty to wherever it is that you were before, saying, you know, hell or high water, we are together forever? And which of you never really changed your mind when a big opportunity comes or tries to take advantage of a big opportunity? It's a very human thing. And I think for a lot of people who are taking a hard line, and I understand, and it's a good position to take, it's a reflection of our human selves and the decisions we would have taken, that you never really say no, or you never say never again, to use the name of that James Bond movie. So this is likely to happen. But ultimately, this drama, we know, plays out every single time Ghana qualifies for the World Cup. I think it's been jacked up because of the timing. I remember players have been quoted, etc., etc. Investors, publicists, family members are going overdrive. This is the opportunity to start to work things. But it's not that straightforward. And I think it stops with the coach. And he said it. He said case-by-case basis. Case-by-case basis means he's not completely ruling it out. Because the coach has got a job to do at the World Cup. Ultimately, if he realizes I don't have enough goals, there's somebody there who could get me a few goals. They might be minded if the process is undertaken and that's which happens, to give the person a try. So it really depends on the materials you have as you go into the battle. That's why he's not ruling it out entirely. He says case by case basis. And he talks about national pride, saying it must count for something. I think it's extremely important for us to identify the fact that there's a difference between patriotism, nationalism, and professionalism. Okay, patriotic, I would die for the country, whatever I do. If I have to put in a tackle that qualifies, that'll rule me out of the World Cup, but it saves us and qualifies us, I will do it. The truth is that you don't really get a lot of that with modern footballers. There's nationalism where a person is very proud to be very Ghanaian, in my opinion, and a lot of people wanting to associate with the flag. That's where you hear expressions like Amuzu saying, my heart is with Ghana. He's happy to be associated with the national flag now. So he's very, nationalistic, Ghana. A lot of people abroad who are very nationalistic, when presidents travel there or some football game is about to happen there, it's all about the Ghana flag. If you ask them, leave your good job and come back here, that's where the test of patriotism comes in, and they are likely to fail. And there's an issue of professionalism, where you have somebody, not necessarily a mercenary, but off the field and on the field, the person understands what is required of them as a professional footballer. And they give you that. And to tell you the truth, there are some players born and bred in Ghana who die for us any day, who have suffered in the national team because of their lack of professionalism. And it's not to pick on him because I think he's one of the greatest goalkeepers we have ever picked. But when Samir J crumbled at the prospect that Orele was coming into the team, and they were displaying certain level of unprofessionalism, because you'd have expected him to have kept his head up and said, I'm going to fight for this place. And chances are that he would have actually maintained this place. So that's just to set the thing into context, that what Otto said about national pride counting for something is not a straightforward matter. Ultimately, if you have somebody who plays the part and will give you 3 good matches at group stages, there's a chance the coach may be swayed. That's why he's not ruling it out. And the issue of previous snaps, I think we should be very careful how we treat that because of the history. And let me just quickly run you through the history. In 2006, how many of the foreign-born players did we have in the team? 2, Otuado and Hansape. But Hansape and Otuado came from a breed at a time when we didn't really have a structure for managing these players. I mean, the standard had obviously been set by Tony Ebafu, who was very Afrocentric, dedicated. And I think these two came out of that stock where they had already decided. Otto famously said, I don't feel German, I feel Ghanaian, so that's why I'm going to play for Ghana, and committed in 1999. And we hadn't even qualified for the World Cup. He came and he played his first game against Eritrea. Then, so you had him and you had Sape, you had Eric Adu. Okay, interesting stories. In all these cases, we didn't exactly love these guys back, but they stuck with us. You know, in the 2000 Nations Cup, even the money to pay your ticket back, all those things, this was before money came in as sponsorship into the Black Stars. But Otoado stayed the course. You had Hansape after making his debut in the year 2000. It took him 5 years later before Ghana even called him back. Anybody else would have said, even if I can't play for anybody else, I'm not coming. And Ricardo, in 1998, I remember famously when the Belgian team were naming their squad, they had one name that they hadn't added. When they were asked, they said they were waiting for Ricardo to decide who he would play for. Based on his father's advice, he decided to play for Ghana. In a tournament in Burkina Faso that we exited in the first round, interestingly, he didn't get a call-up again for 5 years. You know, so there was the time where it was really a test of who really loved Ghana enough to come and play for Ghana. 2010, we had Quincy Abeyi, who played for the Dutch junior teams, would have wanted to play for the Netherlands, waited it out. It did not happen. Remember, he had a call to come straight into the Nations Cup in 2008, and after that, he played in the World Cup. So he didn't also come straight into the World Cup. In 2014, he had Kwase, who had made his debut, played, qualifies, and all of that coming. 2022 was an uptick in the number, unprecedented, and it shows you the trend we have now. We had 6. We had Tarek Lamptey, we had Dennis Odwe, we had Alexander Jiku, we had Daniel Kofi Asare, we had Kofi Tresori, we had Inaki Williams, we had Antoine Semenyo. Now take note, out of these 6, 2 of them came straight into the World Cup. Tarek playing in the friendly match and then going into the World Cup. So he didn't play qualifiers. Now remember, Tarek had played in a junior team. In fact, in that same 2022, he played matches for England's under-20 team before, when the switch discussions had been completed. He told Lee Carsley that I would no longer be available, and he came, played friendlies, and played in the World Cup. Ghana had already qualified for the World Cup, remember. But then we know that he spoke well and, you know, articulated things that won people over. Remember, Inaki Williams did not play qualifiers. Inaki made his debut, waited it out, and then somewhere in 2021 started talking about how he may consider a Ghanaian offer. Then in 2022 came straight and played in the World Cup. Of course, the situation was different with Semenyo, who had played qualifiers, Kofi Tresori, who had made a debut earlier in qualifiers, you know, Jiku, and then also Dennis Odwe. But I think Dennis Odwe, you know, when he made his initial debut, 2012, he had to wait 10 years after that to play for Ghana. And at some points, he had criticized Mark Wilmot and had spoken about earning his place in the Belgian team. Before eventually, when it was quite obvious that he was 30 plus and it wasn't going to happen, he switched. So that's just to put it in context that when you look at it, there are people who have come directly into our World Cup team. But I think sometimes, so the snub thing gets personalized. So for me, it comes down to the criteria of whether the person improves the squad and whether the person is a professional who would come in there, not cause problems for the coaches and everything. The final thing I'll say is I think a lot of people interpret this issue a lot through the stories around Kevin Prince Boateng. And those stories have not always been accurate. I think the system now to support these players when they come is better. But some of the negative stories around Kevin Prince Boateng is the prism through which people interpret this. So it awakens a certain level of emotion and disdain and disappointment that somebody came and took us for granted. And so if somebody is previously snubbed us, we just start saying that the person is not patriotic, monkey shouldn't work, baboon should chop. I ultimately want the Black Stars to do well. So if a player changes his mind, I think a person has a right to change his mind. And to the extent that he hasn't played, the coach then decides, is he an improvement on what I have? Will he satisfy a particular need within the team? And now if that is the case, a person can always become nationalistic or patriotic. Okay? And they have to prove it on the field. So if they come and they prove it and the coach believes in the matches that were played prior to the World Cup that a person has earned their stripes, why not? And you know, sometimes I think there's a personal thing with the English players because we see them all the time. like Welbeck those days. You watch them all the time, and you are very affronted that they have snubbed you. So I think we reserve a special place in there. But honestly speaking, I don't think that it is worth taking entrenched positions. By snubbing us, it doesn't mean they have insulted the country per se. Okay, and based on the examples I've given you, we have enough examples that we extol now, who waited it out until they realized my only option is to go to Ghana. And the coach, realizing there was a place for them, gave them the opportunity. So that is my position on this. Don't shut the door completely, but then the person must be an improvement on what you have, and the person must add value to the team. And when they come, they must demonstrate that they are willing to be professional about it, and then nationalistic, ready to defend the flag. As for the patriotism, you show that on the pitch.
Absolutely. Brilliantly put. Thank you, Sammy, for that. Sitcho is also joining us over Zoom. Sitcho, how are you doing, my friend?
Bro, I'm managing. I'm managing. Sammy Matos also. Good to see you. Yo, and the guys.
Yeah. Listen, Sammy, you've brilliantly espoused your point. Whether people agree or not is another matter. One man whose position I know very clearly is Atsu Tamakloe, who doesn't think that...
No, but, let me just also sign up by saying that it cuts both ways. There are outliers we don't talk about. I remember famously Gerard Asamoah coming for a workout with a team, I think it's prior to the year 2000. We're playing qualifiers for 2022 World Cup as well. And he did everything. The coach just did not see him. And he went and the Germans saw him. And he was their main striker, one of the main strikers in the 2022 World Cup. So, and we've seen the same situations with people who have played for other countries. So I think my point is well made, and I'll leave it there, whatever the decision is. But it's quite obvious that the coach wisely is not shutting the door. But more importantly, let's not undermine the coach by the statements that we make. And I'm referring to the Ghana Football Association. I'm referring to the ministers of state. I'm referring to even the presidency. That the statements that we make should be such that they don't undermine or tie the hands of the coach, because the coach might have an idea of what he wants to do, but because certain statements have been made, they will prejudice his decision and make things difficult and cause confusion and further deepen the divide and the rift among people. But ultimately, if there's one thing I know all Ghanaians want the Black Stars to go to the World Cup and do well, advance beyond the knockout stages and make some history. And I'm all for anything that allows us to do so. You can always convert a person into a patriot, and they can always prove themselves to you. Paul, okay, so
thank you, Sammy. And it's an interesting point, because also it's not only Ghana that will be calling up players who have previously maybe said no to them. Even big nations have done it all throughout history. Even more recent history, there are examples. I think Jorginho was a big one, right? He initially said he wanted to play for Brazil because he came from Brazil, and then ended up going to Italy. And Italy saw the value in him, and they called him up, and he went to represent Italy and forgot about Brazil, a country of his birth, where he grew up, where he had initially declared allegiance for. So, I mean, examples abound. And you can't question his commitment to Italy as a result of that. And he's brought value, helped them to win the Euros. So that's just to strengthen Sammy's point. However, there are other really strong points on the opposite end. And Atsu is one of those people that this morning I was on a show with him on the Sitsofe Morning Show, and he had some very strong opinions and quite some very interesting relatable points to make about why he thinks that we should not entertain this idea. Actually, I'm going to come to you now and take your opinion. You heard Sammy Bartels talk about why he thinks that we shouldn't completely shut the door. What do you... has he managed to convince you in any way, or your position still stands?
Unfortunately, no.
I see.
No, I am... So what he says is not actually a counter to my position on it. Mm-hmm. I think he gave us brilliant context on where we have come from, some of the decisions we have made, especially in this matter of players who did not have the opportunity to play for us before. Some of them had it and said no and all of that. And it's important that our decisions are informed by these contexts.
Right.
But even before that, we also have to admit that as a country, the opportunism that I complain about on the part of these players is something we are also guilty of. because, and it comes in two ways. The first part is players that we overlook. They are very good enough to have played for our starlets or satellites, but we overlook them in the development years. And when they get to the point where we think we need them, we then suddenly ask them to come and play for us. The Newama situation is an example. In situations like that, I mean, Mohamed Salisu also, except I thought he overdragged that particular matter. So we have a tendency to, for whatever reason, sometimes through interference, whatever reasons, we don't always pick the right players, but the cream will always rise to the top. So you can avoid them or ignore them at the under 17 or under 20 level, but at the senior level, they will be so good that if indeed you are making an objective analysis of their profiles and their performance levels, you cannot overlook them. Some of them also happens to have opportunities to represent other countries. When you show up like that and they snub you, we have to be humble enough and honest enough to admit that, look, we have messed up here. There is that. And then there are the other players who are examples of what we're discussing today. And I always understand players who express their choice in a very respectful, honest manner. Look, you cannot begrudge someone like Eddie Nketiah for choosing England. Because for some of them, yes, they may have Ghanaian parentage or ancestry or lineage, but they perhaps have lived their entire adult life or their entire lives in those countries, were trained by those countries, educated there, played for the... Eddie Nketiah, at the time he got his England national team call-up, was, I think, possibly the highest scorer across all of England's youth teams in history. To arrive at that point, he must have played for the under-17s, under-20s, possibly for the younger teams, and I think made the Olympic team once or twice. But generally, had built up a catalogue of working for the England national team, understood the culture, had gone through the mill. So that was the team that he knew. So if we show up, that was why I was not so disappointed. Yes, we missed out on a quality player then. But when such a player tells you that he feels English, your attitude to that cannot be that you have been insulted. Yeah? You have to look at it for the truth element in that and say that that is it. And the same goes for Eddie Nketiah as, Callum Hudson-Odoi at that time. I don't think any of us could have begrudged them for the choices that they made.
Okay.
However, they also need to realize that when you make your choices, it comes with consequences. We threw the charm offensive at Eddie Nketiah and Hudson-Odoi. I know for a fact, Chris Hughton spoke to both players. I know for a fact when Hudson-Odoi went to the presidency, President Akufo-Addo mentioned that if it is possible, come and play for Ghana. I know for a fact that Chris Hughton, beyond President Akufo-Addo's words at the time, Chris Hughton also asked him to come.
Had meetings with his father.
And all of that.
I saw.
So we did everything possible. He said no. When you make your choice, and again, I've laid the foundation that I have no problem
with
the choice. But when you make the choice, it comes with consequences.
Which
is that when you shut the door, don't expect to walk in. Some of them shut the door by their utterances. Amuzupi, for example. Amuzupi in 2019, Kwesi Appiah spoke to him and asked if he, at that time he was 20. It was 2 years into his stay at Anderlecht. He said no. Then 2 years later, Siki Akono had made the attempts to get him to play for Ghana. Amuzupi again, he said no. The part that broke my heart was that
Amuzupi too, he had played for Belgium's under 17, under 19, under 21.
Yes. So
he was born here, actually.
Yeah, but he said he left here at the age of 2. So I understood. But the parts that broke my heart were the things Amuzupi said. That is what I meant by some of them shut the door by their words. Not just by the fact that they have said no. Some shut the door by their words, and the group that Otuado was referring to when he said some of them, they don't respond to even our calls. Amuzupi in 2022 said, with Belgium, you can go very far. at such a World Cup. With Ghana, there is a real chance you will be out quickly.
Did he lie?
He didn't lie.
You see, the Belgian team, no, in that World Cup, where did Belgium finish?
Group stages.
You will say that
Where did Ghana finish?
Hang on a minute. if you see that kind of language, when people like us use it, there is no
I
blowback.
understand you.
That
So,
kind of
as
corrosive
for
language.
Amuzu
P. Oh,
okay,
boga.
good. Okay, fine. Now those two, no?
Yes, those two.
The English voice.
No, but
Yes.
wait, you see, Amuzu P.
Amuzu, you see,
that particular interview you are referencing.
Yeah.
It was done in Belgium,
Yeah.
Belgian, and translated
Related
into
into
English.
English.
So maybe in English it sounds harsh, but maybe he didn't say it.
He didn't mean it.
Yeah, he didn't mean it that way.
Fair enough.
So like maybe go
something
easy
can
on
be lost in translation.
Yeah.
On top of that,
What situation talk? Make it call for them.
Sitsofe on mute, oh, we know they hear you.
That's why he's on mute. What be your issue? You? What be your
The
issue?
bottom language you don't understand.
Yeah, we didn't hear you. He said the Belgian language, DK, you know they
I
understand.
said baby. I said let's relax.
Why is the baby from? Why you assuming?
More fire, Situ.
Amuzu
But why your
P.
life
Make
this?
you no can-
Why your life
You
this?
don't understand the Belgian
You
language,
understand? The
please.
bottom language you understand.
No, I know he's a
Somebody
respectful
talking
young
matter in the camp
man. I know
section for you.
Amuzu
Massa
is a
come out.
very respectful young
Eh,
man. He doesn't
Atsu.
talk by heart.
Look,
Atsu,
to those two,
Amuzu P say you no go play. That be all.
that be all. Thank
Continue.
you very much, my brother.
So,
Those two.
Take no mind and
now, what about Eddie and Cho?
Yes. The reason I say shut the door is that we're not having this conversation when they are at the peak of their powers. Yeah? I've established that when you make your choice, it will come with consequences. If we are prepared to make that compromise and admit them, their numbers need to be so good that when you look at the body of work, Charlie, and someone
Undeniable.
Eddie Nketiah, since he got that debut call-up, has made one appearance for England. Callum Hudson-Odoi, 3. Nketiah's numbers have been so bad that I think 2 years ago, his total goal contributions were the same as the number of yellow cards he had picked up. In fact, he had more yellow cards than goals scored. 4 goals, 5 yellow cards. It is when you add the assists that it adds up to 5.
That's 2 years ago.
Since then, look at those numbers and tell me that they are impressive. Callum Hudson-Odoi the same. So they are not even playing well for us to even consider the idea of bringing them into the team.
Last season,
When
for
you-
Crystal Palace, he
Yes.
scored 3 goals in 29 games.
3 in 29.
Eddie Nketiah.
Yes.
A season before that, he was at Arsenal. He scored 5 in 27. That is 2023-24. So if you're being more recent, this season, he's already played 3 games. He scored 1 goal.
3 in 29. And
Yes,
1 this
last
season.
season. Yes. And 1 in 3 this season.
So look, even for those who make the arguments that let's not focus on the
But
decision.
that doesn't mean we should shut the door, though. Because,
Fence.
I mean, we still have a whole season to go.
Fence.
This season is only played 3
Fence.
games. You're
This
saying that
is-
by May, if this guy has scored like 10 goals.
When you let me finish, you'll understand the
Okay,
point
I'm
I'm
listening.
coming from. I'm saying that you should only compromise if the numbers are too good for you to hold your previous decision against them. However, I think that going forward, you need a certain standard and a consistent way of handling situations like this. Left to me alone. Left to me alone. Yeah? You should have a situation where this kind of opportunism is shut down. Look, we're only having this conversation because these guys have not been good enough to play for England. I guarantee you that if Eddie Nketiah was playing for England, he was playing well at his club side, and based on that was getting minutes in the national team, this will not even be having a conversation about the possibility of them thinking about rescinding that nationality. The same goes for Callum Hudson-Odoi. So this is very opportunistic on their part. But going forward, you need to be very tactful about this. And the solution I have is what I'm going to propose.
I'm listening.
If you say that all of a sudden you feel Ghanaian, you have developed a new sense of belongingness,
In some terms, nationalism.
nationalism, let it reflect in your willingness to make certain sacrifices to represent this country.
Okay.
If you want to make that switch, having previously committed to another country, you need to minimum have been part of one AFCON cycle and a World Cup qualifying cycle.
So you're saying the timing of the declaration is essential.
Yes, that is where you see the test, the true measure of the person's preparedness.
But it's a hard thing. So if it doesn't click at a certain time during AFCON qualifiers,
we cannot control that. Friends, we cannot control that.
And it clicks after World Cup.
Fair enough, we cannot control that. But we're saying that these are our standards.
Okay.
If you have said no,
so set your heart to click.
Yes. If you have said no,
time.
if you have said no in the past, even if we didn't ask you and you chose another country, for us to properly believe the genuineness that you are coming to play for us, not just because of the allure of the World Cup. Minimum, be part of one AFCON cycle, or one AFCON cycle and one qualifying cycle for the World Cup. If possible, do one AFCON qualifiers, the AFCON, and then the World Cup qualifiers before the tournament. If you wait until the World Cup, but we were here when the Black Stars were struggling. AFCON 2021. Then Cote d'Ivoire, then AFCON qualifiers. We didn't qualify. Then at what point did these guys, Amuzupi and co, at what point did they start feeling Ghanaian? So we cannot trust any of the things they say. And I'm saying that going forward, the only measure, when we say commitment, I don't want to only find out when you have walked into the team just before a major tournament like this. I want to see that travel on that flight to Angola, go to Cameroon, go with the team to wherever, Central African Republic. Sudan. Yes, because that is the job of a Black Stars player anyway.
Not just showing up on
shiny pitches to go and play. If indeed Edin Ketia, Kalim Hotnodoy, Amuzupi, Wine, those who have made their nationality choice and now want to rescind it, the true test of that commitment is to come to us while we are going through the furnace, while we are going through those undesirable processes. Okay. Apart from that, I will not even entertain the idea of this. I'm just going to conclude by saying this. When I interviewed Otuade, who was pretty clear, and he gave possibly the most intelligent answer a coach could have. He spoke about the commitment issue. He spoke about national pride and how it should be considered in each of these situations. And then he mentioned two categories of people. Those who we have made approaches to and they rejected us. And those who didn't even answer at all. Amuzupi, you didn't answer when Kwesi Appiah called you. Siki Akuno, it was
long time ago.
Yeah. Whether it was long time ago or yesterday, but
the guy was a kid. The guy was under 19.
And
are you going to judge a 19-year-old by the decisions he made when he was? It's not.
I'm saying that.
Man.
You Atsu, if we hold your decisions at 19 against you,
Atsu, we know you. We know you.
If you are old enough to enjoy the benefits of that decision, you should also be able to face the consequences of that decision.
Sitcho, what is he saying? What is it? Open the Zoom line for me. Sitcho is talking, please.
Atsu. Some of the things we were telling some of our lady friends when you're 18 years, if they hold it against you now at this age, you survive.
Today,
you survive.
I'm the exception.
You survive.
Oh, God.
If they write a book about you right now, about some of the things you did 8 years, would you survive?
Sitcho, on that note, you go on for me. I'll give you like just 5 minutes. The guys have spoken a lot. What do you make of this?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Your thoughts on this matter?
Look, friends, I think that, you see, look, and that's a case where you can be right on either side of the coin, right? There's no real right answer that you can hold on and say that I'm right. The reason is simple. I think that these sudden emergence of other Ghanaians outside the country who now want to play with the Black Stars have always come around when we've qualified for the World Cup. And that is a worry. Because before the World Cup, which is every 4 years, we've had 2 AFCONs. We've never really seen any of them, if they are truly committed to the cause, come up and say, we want to be part of your AFCON campaign, so we're eligible to play, we want to be part of it. So we don't see most of the players saying that, oh, the AFCON is in December, November, December, or January, February. We want to leave our clubs and join your AFCON campaigns. We barely hear that. We barely see that. We also barely see them try to say they want to be part of the AFCON qualifier. It's almost as if whenever the World Cup is around the corner, all of a sudden we've got these people. So I understand when people say that it's not good. And it sets, if like, a wrong precedence, because when players can commit to the national team. They would wait and bide their time until they are sure that the country is going to go into the World Cup. However, when somebody has the opportunity of becoming a Ghanaian or nationalized for any other country or choose to play for them, they are free to do so, right? And it's the same for all these players we are mentioning. Amurizu, Amupizi, the nice material given to the young man. And yes, and Cho, Calibos Notoy, Edin Ketia, and all the other players, right? My point is this, friends. My point is this. Let's not lump all of them together and say that we don't want anybody who wasn't part of the World Cup qualifiers to go to the World Cup. For me, it doesn't make sense because there are several other Ghanaian players who were not part, who were born in Ghana, who were eligible to play, who were not part of the World Cup qualifiers because maybe we didn't call them. But going into the World Cup, they will be informed, so you call them. My point is simple. Do it on individual basis.
On merit basis.
Edin Ketia says, no, let's talk to the players individually. If Edin Ketia says he wants to play for the Black Stars, deal with Edin Ketia. If Calibos Lodoy says he wants to play with for the Black Stars, deal with him. And in dealing with him, what you are going to ask is if he improves the position in which he plays, right? But the moment you blanket it and say that we don't want any of them to be there, you might as well be based out on quality. My point is easy and simple. Look, the World Cup that we've qualified to, we need some of the best players who are Ghanaians to go and represent us. The players who want to now play for the Black Stars, are they good enough to improve the squad? I think yes for some. Some maybe we don't need them, right? And so we need to be mindful how we do it. But again, when they have naturalized to become Ghanaians, it should not be tied to going to the World Cup. You see, the FA shouldn't be talking to people as though come and play for Ghana or come and naturalize for Ghana and let me take you to the World Cup. No, it should be, we want you to be part of the project. It means AFCON, it means World Cup, it means everything. Most often, when the FA is pitching to these players, they are pitching competitions to them. And so the players will wait, and KP Boateng was a perfect example. Mohamed Salisu was a perfect example. We were pitching the World Cup to him. So he comes in for the World Cup, after which he has shown that he's committed to the cause. So for me, it's easy. When these players want to naturalize, if a player like Calibos Lodoy or Edin Ketia, let them change their nationality to Ghanaians. If we think we don't need them, we don't call them, but they are Ghanaian players anyway. After the World Cup, before the World Cup, during the period when we are preparing, if all of a sudden Jordan Ayew has a knock, so he can't show up for some friendlies, all our strikers options, we are not too sure. And we look at the roster of Ghanaian strikers. Edin Ketia is not eligible to play for Ghana. We can call him and give him the opportunity to try himself. All of a sudden, maybe our wingers, some of them are injured, some of them can't come because they have issues, and then we call Calibos Lodoy. It's like, he's also Ghanaian, so he comes and try. But let's not cut them off entirely and completely as if they cannot play for the Black Stars. And look, finally, the boys who qualified us to the World Cup, nobody has the birthright to go to the World Cup. We don't owe anybody a World Cup slot in the national team. We don't owe anybody. When they play their qualifiers, we pay them their bonuses. They will due them, we pay them. Now the World Cup is here. It's a clean slate. We are going into the World Cup with the best team available. So we shouldn't speak as though all the players who played the World Cup qualifiers are those who have to go to the World Cup. No. Going into the World Cup, we need some of our best players to go and represent us. But in doing so, let us not go and promise players that change to come and play for Ghana and we'll take you to the World Cup. No. It should be, you are free to come and be a Ghanaian player. We will assess and look at you, and when we need you on board, we'll give you a call-up. Once that clarity is there, they are all welcome to be Ghanaians. They are all welcome to be Ghanaian players, just as our local players or our players playing their trade internationally. And then when the call-up is done, it's due, and we have injury somewhere or we have deficiency somewhere, we can call on this place. And I like what Sami said. Normally, when you talk about these expert players, we are most often thinking about that one scenario of KP Boateng, where he came for the World Cup, didn't do anything else in our other AFCON qualifiers or AFCON games, two of them in between 2010 and 2014, and popped up in the second leg of the playoffs of the 2014 World Cup qualifiers against Egypt. When people hear that story, they are all like that, but that's not the case. There are several. Didn't we see Kwesi Appiah come to play for Ghana and get injured and still not be the same? Haven't we seen Cornish Dorfer come to play for Ghana? Haven't we seen the boy in the Bundesliga who's injured. Oh, the ball are not. Then he came help with the ball at number 10. So there are several. There are several cases of other players who recalled into the Black Stars who proved that they were not born in Ghana, yes, yet they were committed to the cause. Inaki Williams hasn't worked in the Black Stars. In fact, even Tariq Lamptey hasn't. I'm very close to Tariq Lamptey for a lot of reasons, but he hasn't worked in the Black Stars, right? The issue is simple. Have they been committed or not? Inaki doesn't score for the Black Stars. He doesn't really play well, but he's committed. He's always available. Tariq Lamptey is always available unless he's injured. So we can't use the KP Watson example to rubbish all the others who can do what Inaki, Tariq, Kofiche, Cornesdorfer, and many other players have done. In fact, those who have disappointed are way less than those who have come and showed commitment. So why do we think that Edin Ketia and Callum Hudson-Odoi will be like KP Boateng and not be like the rest of the players that I've mentioned? Look, open the net. Everybody who is a Ghanaian in the world should be eligible to play for the Black Stars. Then the final decision rests on the technical team, who would have a lot of quality to work with. Pick your best team and go to the World Cup. And can Ronaldo can say, he doesn't feel Portuguese or feel Ghanaian. You actually then you go sit there tell me say, no, my boy, because I'm not qualified.
But that one is Ronaldo.
End of story.
But that one is Ronaldo.
Sitcho, fantastic, brilliant. Thank you very much. Very interesting points you raised there. Danike, I'm going to wrap up with you on this one and then take a short
in life,
go on, please.
You see, in life, there are certain principles that govern certain things. My point is, the national team must mean something. You understand? The national team must be governed by a set of principles. So that when you wear the shirt, you know that it carries meaning. That's all I'm saying. So I'll just liken this thing to a simple life scenario where you, Tahiru, you are, let's say, 10 years ago, because now you are happily married.
Very happily
married.
Yes.
You found your rib, your missing rib.
Yes. You mean 10 years ago?
10 years ago.
Yes.
You were pursuing this lovely baby girl, not your wife.
Which is true.
Lovely baby girl. You were pursuing her.
Yes.
Conversations are going on. It's looking good. It's looking that like, Charlie, you may be able to bag this baby girl.
Yes.
And then one day you go for lunch. You finish the lunch. You are escorted. So, baby girl, let me drop you. Let me drop you off. This story even happened to one of our brothers.
Yes.
You reach the car and
we will not mention names.
She sees your car and the thing is, do you know a Potro car?
No.
You see the old time Beetle, no?
Yeah. That one.
The one that the engine is at the front. No?
Yes.
Yes. Not the vintage ones.
Above.
Thank you. The one that when you are sparking, you have to jump on the seat and shake the thing before the
Yes. I've seen those cars.
She sees your car, no? She says, brother, wait there, no lie.
That's right.
And then 2 days later, she's dating the one who has a V8. Now, 5 years later, when God blesses you and you get your Tesla, she comes back and she tells you that, I love you.
Yes.
Is that love?
That love, no? We have to assess it well.
We are not assessing anything.
No, we have to assess it well. Maybe she has regretted the decision.
That is not love.
No.
You only love me when you see the Tesla.
Maybe it's not the Tesla. She was looking to see you all those 5 years. She don't see you. She just happens to see you at the time you had the Tesla.
Lie. That is a lie.
Maybe she just happened to see you at the time you happen to have the Tesla.
That is a lie. Any young man who is listening to me
agrees with
any young woman who is listening to me, who will have a brother or a very good friend in that position, will tell the person that, hey, this one is a suspect.
But Atsu took that girl back after 5 years.
Why she dump him again? She dumped him again. Now look at him.
Why?
He is a living example of why you shouldn't take them.
Why are you lying?
So my point is, see, Fent, the timing of this thing is just a bit too suspect for me.
Okay.
Because I'm asking myself, if Ghana didn't qualify to the World Cup, would you want to come?
A question they should answer.
That's a serious question. Because you see, then you are telling me that it's the World Cup you want to play in, not the Black Stars you want to play for. And for me, we need players who want to play for the national team. It needs to mean something. Because if you always just open your door and you say, oh, it doesn't matter, oh, let's just look for... It's not easy. It's not just quality. There are certain principles that you have to possess in order to in fact, share in common in order for you to wear that jersey. And that's what I stand by. Look, it's not... 98 World Cup. Ginola had just won PFA Player of the Year. Because of one or two things. They said they won't take him. Was he quality? Was he better than some of the players who were there? Yes. Could he have improved the team? Yes. But they didn't take him. Some of the people spoke against him, but they didn't take him. Benzema, 2018 World Cup. Was he better than... He said somebody is Fiat and he is Ferrari. Did they take him to the World Cup? They didn't take him.
And they still won.
Was he better than some of the players who were there? Yes, he was.
Romario.
202. Was he better than some of the players there? He was. But you see, my point is, there are certain... The national team must stand for something. And for me, the timing is a bit suspect.
The timing is...
I'm not saying don't change, oh. And you see, this thing, I'll ask for Amuzupi and Cho. All of them, they can...
They should switch, actually.
They can... Oh, switch.
Yeah, they should
because
switch. But Atsu is right. They should switch, make themselves available. Now.
Yes.
Then we decide.
Otono has to decide. But for Eddie Nketiah, I have personal advice for him.
Okay, we are listening to you.
You remember in 2022, I wrote article on why Ghana needed Eddie Nketiah.
Right.
To be frank, if I look at his potential, I still maintain the points that I had in the past. But Eddie, you see, life, I'm a man of principle. And I don't like people who give up. Life, football is very unpredictable.
Yes.
Me, I'm telling Eddie Nketiah that he should wait. As for Cho and the rest, no, they can change their... They can give up. But for Eddie Nketiah, I'm telling Boga, Mateta, we know him. Mateta. We know Mateta. If not for Glasner, Mateta wouldn't be playing for France.
True.
Mateta, we know the guy. Anything can happen in football. You don't know when Mateta will lose form for a period and they will need you to step in and the team will set and you will go on this goal scoring run. Don't come and change. Don't change now.
Wouldn't that be good for us? If he switches...
No. That's why I say personal advice. I'm not talking about Black Stars.
Oh.
This one I'm talking from an Eddie Nketiah's friend point of view.
You are his friend.
Because, no, he's my boy.
Okay.
Because Eddie, Sitsofe, let me talk. What's your issue? You see, there's 7 months to the end of the season. 7 months is a very long time. Apart from Hurricane, this season, Oli Watkins, Onyade, Rashford, Onyade, the English forwards all no, Onyade.
Eddie has a chance there.
Boga, it's just
wait.
a certain run of games you need. That's all. So Eddie Nketiah wait, because Tuchel is rewarding consistency and performance. You came off the bench, came to score winning goal against Liverpool. That's a start. Mateta no.
You are very mischievous.
No, I'm not. I'm being genuine. I'm serious.
Wouldn't that be good? Wouldn't that be good? A good scenario for Ghana?
Do you know why it will not be a good scenario for Ghana?
Why?
The Ghanaian national team is not as settled as the English national team.
The English team is settled.
Boga, he doesn't know us as well as he knows them.
He's settled.
Why? The lost game.
Senegal.
Friendly.
Why? Massa friendly. We are talking competitive games.
Your question was they've lost game, and I pointed out one.
Friendly game is not competitive. Friendly game, you can go and field anybody. Point is, the guy has grown up in their football structure. He understands them better than he understands us. That's why when he said that he would choose them, I agreed with him. So, as for Eddie Nketiah, as for Cho, he play chair, Cho, he make him, Cho, he come, Cho, he be party boy, we see him for Bloomden. Cho, but as for Eddie Nketiah, I'm being very serious.
There's hope.
For Eddie Nketiah, I'm saying that forget this thing I'm saying, being very serious.
Okay.
Forget this Ghana thing.
Okay.
He there's hope for him. He's just 26. He's just 26. The guy
and the distance between where he is now and where he should be to play for England is very small.
So just wait.
Only Hurricane is in his way.
Just wait. If you go on some nice form, Boga, the English national team, the World Cup, you go.
I see.
So he should wait. If by March he's still sitting on the bench and then we can switch. As for that one, then we can switch. But for now, I think it's too early.
Okay.
Because there's still a lot of time to go.
Okay.
And to be frank, if he does well and he goes to the World Cup for England, that's it. Harry Kane is then you take over. So as for Eddie, you there wait. But if you want to come home, but the World Cup there's some way.
So we, Danny, thank you very much. You're listening to Game Plan on 99.7 Joy FM, also on Hitz 103.9 FM. The show is proudly sponsored by Betway and Petrosol. If you want to contribute to the conversation, the WhatsApp number is 055-1111-997. I will read some messages when I come back from the break. So do send in your messages right now. But let me tell you a bit about Betway. Betway is stepping it up to give their fans even more back with the Betway rewards. Whenever you bet on sports or casino, you will earn points that can be converted into cash. It's that easy. The best part is that you can convert whenever you want and can withdraw the funds or use them to place new bets. No strings attached, so start enjoying a whole new way to get rewarded with Betway. Only at betway.com.gh. Let me also tell you about DSTV or GoTV. This October, GoTV has got an action-packed lineup for customers, from blockbuster movies, thrilling telenovelas, exciting kids shows, and amazing local stories. October is a non-stop fun and action. Enjoy high-speed chases, the fits, fires, and explosions with Action Headquarters, featuring all your favorite action stars. Keep up with the drama in a new telenovela, Thirst for Revenge, and witness the struggle for power and wealth in our new local series, Masase on Aquaba Magic. And for the kids, all their favorite shows are on every day, making playtime joyful. Stay connected to get big value on your entertainment this month, only on GoTV. You can dial *759# and enjoy all the thrills. GoTV, love it. Also, Lifebuoy Carbolic soap is here. Killentia. Pack Killentia for extra protection with the new Lifebuoy Carbolic promo pack. Buy 5 pieces of Lifebuoy Carbolic and get 1 extra bar for free. Absolutely free. Into your fast. Why? Visit any supermarket or a provision store for your promo pack now, because Killentia for extra protection. Choose Lifebuoy. Choose protection. All right, let's do that. And here at the Multimedia Group and on the Cosmopolitan Mix, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month worldwide. And as part of our support for the awareness creation of the disease, which is one of the leading causes of death in women, the Cosmopolitan Mix on Joy FM is dedicating the whole month of October to educate listeners and address their questions on breast cancer. So tune into your favorite mid-morning show, Cosmopolitan Mix with Dory Nando, between 10 a.m. and 12 noon every weekday for all the tips on breast cancer, self-examination, early detection, symptoms, risk factors, and prevention and care. Don't forget, there will be free breast cancer screening and exciting giveaways for our cherished listeners. Follow our Pink October and be an ambassador of our campaign using the hashtag Cosmopolitan Mix on social media. It's a Pink October on the Cosmopolitan Mix. Remember, they are also teaching you Atsu on how to do self-examination. I heard a doctor say that the women should not carry their breasts to their boyfriends to do the examination. They should go and see a professional. This doctor
Atsu has no business doing self-examination. No business.
What are you saying?
The women who are associated, they should go to health professionals.
What is the essence of teaching self-examination?
You are
exactly so that you can examine without going to the doctor.
Atsu has no business putting his hand anywhere.
No. What about his own?
He asks for his own, then you can do it. You can do it.
See.
All right.
2 different things here.
Yeah.
I haven't said I've been putting my hands anywhere.
Yeah.
However, there is a certain wisdom in teaching self-examination.
Yes.
Let's not speak against that.
All right, cool. Thank you, Atsu. Listen, this is Game Plan on 99.7 Joy FM. We are a quarter away from full show time. Look, we need to come back and talk about it.
I need to confess something.
Okay, go on.
Charlie, Sami submission, you almost make a fool, though. Almost.
You always make you fool,
yeah, let's small
that is have you fooled. Because yesterday the film you did.
Yeah, because if from him you came to me like a fool. But you go
I see. I just have fold. I just have fold.
You make a fool.
That's how you be sharp guy.
It's a fool. That's how you be big man. You be big man. I don't add my own. If I add my own, because me, this I'm inside. I get some points for them, but I know we don't get time.
If you add no like, I no go fool.
We know.
You are no go fool.
Guys, give me 1 minute. We'll be right back.
October welcomes you to the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair 2025 at the Accra International Conference Center from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. each day. It's time to turn your home ownership dreams into a lived reality. Whether you're breaking ground, building up, or simply finishing your space, EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair is designed with you in mind. The EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair is powered by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, and brought to you by Drive EVGH, Drive into a Sustainable Future. And supported by Virtual Security Africa, security for all, safety and home solutions. You think of a door? We have it. Superlock Technologies Limited. You deserve the best. DPS Pipes, connecting you to life. Elegant Homes and General Construction Limited, where quality meets value. Gold Key Properties, transforming the landscape. Ayuda, Ghana's #1 services app. Apabako, services bebre. Special Gardens, memorable living. DBS Industries Limited. We truly are your roof experts. Door Masters, the best indoors. Lash Fortune Limited, unleashing luxury with perfection, one space at a time. LandlordAfrica.com, bringing the real estate industry to your doorstep. The Builders Market. Bathroom, get it right. Right House Energy Limited. Let's build smarter energy together. Masters in solar installation. Syntex Tank, you're strong, you're tough. Automation Ghana, West Africa's choice for smart solution. Interplast, we make sure water reaches you, even space. Ubent Security, doors, protecting lives and properties. Clifton Homes, beautiful homes, wise investment. Western Villas, where dreams meet reality. MTN, everywhere you go. EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair 2025. Dream it, own it, live it.
Get ready for the 14th Laboni Old Students Losa Health Walk, happening on Saturday, 25th October, 6 a.m. sharp, under the inspiring theme, Walking Together, Supporting Tomorrow. It's a day of fitness, fun, and fellowship, with exciting activities including the Health Walk, Health Talk, fun games, Jama sessions, networking opportunities, and a lively food bazaar. The kids are not left out. Bring them along to enjoy the special Kids Corner, featuring a trampoline, bouncy castle, and well-trained caregivers to keep them safe and happy. Proceeds will be directed towards supporting meaningful projects to enhance our teaching and learning for our alma mater. So lace up, show up, and let's walk together as we support tomorrow. Primus Semper Aurora, always first at dawn.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Capitano, bandiera, campione d'Italia e campione del mondo. Uno scudetto, 2 Supercoppe, 2 Coppe Italia. Scarpa d'oro e Golden Foot, è semplicemente uno di noi. 307 gol, 786 presenze, 567 da capitano. Numero 10, Francesco! Francesco! Francesco!
All right, welcome back. This is Game Plan. We are on the last leg of the show. We have just about 10 minutes left. So I'm gonna take some phone calls as I promised, because I know that people have several opinions on this matter. Lots of you have also sent in messages on WhatsApp, 055-1111-997. You can call the same number. Also, 0302-216-541 is another phone number you can call, and I'll take your calls and hear your opinions. But I've got messages here. Abokuma Wendy of Tema says, good afternoon, guys. I'm tuning in as usual. Please, I heard you talking about Danike's outfit. It's Friday and the sun is high. Leave him alone. Why? If not, he will lie to you. All right, thank you. He already lied. He said the color is gold. It is not yellow. I said, okay, I heard. I've heard him. This one says, Team Sport, we are grateful to all the 42 players used in playing the World Cup qualifiers. Now that we've qualified, let us rethink and know that we have 7 to 8 months to the Mundial. Let's make the Black Stars attractive again. Daniel Harrison, Ado in Hacho. It's actually 46 players, right? Not 42. Or is it 48? A lot. We've used a lot of players. This one says, as part of the Ghanaian culture, he says Sundays are mostly for fufu, and you know it so well. So that, let me see. Okay, let me read the message again. As part of the Ghanaian culture, Sundays are mostly for fufu, and you know it so well. That is why if cassava gets ready and you don't pound it, then you won't get some of the fufu to eat. Let's just push that scenario into what you are defending at the moment. I would rather entreat and encourage the current Black Stars squad to keep up with fitness and bring out their best as the various countries' league seasons are still in session. His name is Tom Brown. Interesting name. This one says... all right, so many messages here. Fen, let's end all this brothel, okay? Let's call Balotelli. His face alone will take us to the semi-finals fast. This guy. This one says, Amuzipi's ancestors are running a herbal business in Ghana. He can come and join them. Pablo in Montreal. People are just messing up. Oh, okay. Hello, Fed. Kevin Prince Boateng played for Ghana at 2 FIFA World Cups, okay? And yet never played the 2 AFCONs or the AFCON qualifiers in between. Before Qatar 2022, we again dropped Joseph Pencil and Felix Afenajan in favor of Semenyo and Aki Williams, who never played a minute of the qualifiers. Is that fair? That is Stanley in Achimota. Okay, we have a caller on the line now. Hello, your name and where you're calling from?
Hello, good evening, boss.
Yes, good evening. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Nathaniel. I'm calling you straight from Dodowa.
Nathaniel from
the company.
Yes, Nathaniel from Dodowa. Go ahead.
Yes. I just say congratulations for you, one. Then my colleague who just sent text for you say something for phone there. I like for phone too. So please, make you not forget me. Okay. I'll be back later.
I don't understand this point too. He said he will be back later.
He just came to ask for fufu. Or he didn't. The fufu, it was an analogy.
Oh,
the
God.
person didn't say he was.
That is an. Yeah. Don't you love Ghana? You must love Ghana. 0302 216 541. 0302 216 541. And then 055 1111 997. I don't know if we have issues with our phone lines or so, but yeah, you call. But let me go through dozens of messages. Danike and Sitsofe, please leave Victor Atsu Tamakloe's team talks with the young ladies out of the conversation. Because that wasn't justifying for a national team call-up when he engaged the young girls. He said we should leave the conversation, but he himself is adding something. Vast position on the players' attitude towards our national team is pretty much admirable, and I subscribe to it 100%. All right. Very interesting thought there. Another one here on the phone. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Victor.
Victor, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Tema Community 22.
All right, Victor, go ahead and make your point.
Concerning Inaki Williams, Nketia and Boys, giving them a chance is not a problem. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I hope we should just give them the chance to prove themselves. If they are worth it, we'll still call them for the next one. But if they are not worth it, we try them the first match, then we leave them for them to fend for themselves. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Victor from Tema, with that message. I've got quite a lengthy message here from Azizidi He says, please, I have two questions. Number one is the brand of football. The brand of a football club should be spearheaded by their players, but why is it that here in Ghana the administrators are more popular than the players? There are more quality players available for the nationality switch, including Romeo Lavia of Chelsea. So why the focus on Oli Hudson-Odoi and Eddie Nketiah? That's very interesting. This Romeo Lavia conversation. Many people don't even know. Romeo Lavia's father is Ghanaian. His mother is Congolese. He was born and raised in Belgium. He's played one game for the Belgium national team. So he's eligible to play for Ghana. However, the reason I'm guessing no one is clamoring for him or the conversation hasn't been as intense as the others is because Romeo Lavia's limited contribution to the Belgium national team has been largely due to unavailability. That guy is mostly injured. So I think that in the back of many people's minds and the people at the FA, that if he's fit, he goes to the World Cup for Belgium and not Ghana. However, it doesn't stop the FA from pursuing him because he's eligible. And I think that's a conversation that can be had. He really should be actively pursued. And then we make a decision, and he can make a decision then between Ghana and Belgium. Then Atsu can come back and lambast him for whatever decision he makes.
But you defend me.
Let's go back to the phone line. Your name and where you're calling from?
I'm Ladiko. I'm calling from Kaswa.
All right, please go ahead.
Yeah, I believe everybody will have a clean. We all have a clean slate now. We qualified. There's a clean slate. Everybody must be given a chance. Whoever wants to come must justify him or himself. Because some people will start, others will end. Not everybody will go through. But on the lighter note, please, will any pastor now come and tell us the group in which we will go in and the country will go in, please?
Thank you very much. Very interesting. That will be our last caller, I believe. So let's wrap it up. Paul says, Fentuo, honestly, both Eddie Nketiah and Calum Hudson-Odoi are better than the Ketokruku players. Come on. In the Black Stars. So shouldn't we call them? I don't know who you refer to as Ketokruku players. Ket doesn't have players in the national team. The GFA guys have made Ghana football their sole proprietorship and they do things they like. The Black Stars is for Ghanaians, not the GFA. All right. This one says, Joyce Pause, please, Ghana wants to win the Africa Cup. All the players who want to play for the Black Stars now should come and play so that we can win the cup. Then we can talk about the World Cup. The World Cup. All right. Interesting message. More messages here. This one says, please, good afternoon, Fentuo and Co. I agree with Atsu and DK. All right. I agree with Atsu and DK. How would someone wait till things are looking good before they decide to come and play for the national team? They are not even shy. Interesting. AFCON qualifiers will start again soon. They should come and play some. That's Kwesi in Akwepim South with that particular message. This one says, do we lack players so much that we have to invite these two players? The answer is no. If we didn't qualify to play for the World Cup, would they have come? Okay, interesting question for us. And this one says, I think I didn't finish reading that particular message. Kwame in Adabraka, he says, I agree with Atsu and DK. How will someone wait till things are looking good before they show allegiance? Those who played to qualify should be maintained for consolidation till they exhibit any unwillingness to play at the highest level. I must admit your discussion is an elite one. Keep the good work. Cheers. Kwame, thank you for your message. Lots of other messages have come through, but I do not have enough time to read them. But Sunday, please, let's go to the stadium and support Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Sami Bartels, I appreciate you for joining us. You added a lot of value to this conversation. Certainly, your call-up is not in doubt. Certainly, your call-out is not in doubt one bit.
Automatic slot.
Yes, automatic slot. Victor at Tamakloe, thank you very much. Thank you, Danike, as well. And Sitsofe Philip Atsrim. also joining us via Zoom today. I wish you all the best. Sitsofe isn't feeling too well, so a speedy recovery. Show produced by Adamu Bening Abdul Karim. My name is Fentuo, Tahiru Fentuo. The show is proudly sponsored by Betway and Patreon. I hope you enjoyed the conversation this weekend. Of course, there's also EPL. Liverpool and Manchester United headlining the action in the Premier League. That game is on Sunday afternoon, so we'll see what happens in that particular game. But guys, thank you so much. We're going to sign out now. Up next is the BBC World Service. We're back again next Friday. Until then, do take care of yourself and bye-bye.